the girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
928 Car Guys, if you want to weigh in on this. I've got a couple things coming up that you're going to be surprised. You're going to be surprised what I'm going to tell you, but I did my research this week, and there's some things out here you need to know. Plus, yours truly, the car guy of the year, is going to eat a little crow here in a minute. And I'm not happy about it. But you know what? Even I can make a mistake. I thought I made a mistake once, but I was mistaken. All right. I have one more recall we got to talk about. And this one is kind of important. In 2016, General Motors recalled the 2015 model midsize pickup Canyon and Colorado. 3,000 trucks were involved, and it was over a power steering loss problem. Okay, GM says, we got those 3,000 fixed, blah, 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 and they closed the recall. Well, the NHTSA has, in the last 6 months to 8 months, have received 50 more complaints on a recall that is supposedly over. Same model car, same years. Now, two questions come up here. If you think about this, two questions are possible. Either they didn't fix it right. We've had those before. Remember, guys, the one recall on a recall where they fix it and they say, oops, well, that didn't work. Or maybe their recall reporting method is a little bit lax. Maybe they didn't notify 3,000 pickup trucks. That they had 3,000 pickup trucks come off the line with a bad steering problem. And they were supposedly going to be fixed. And they said they're fixed. Closed the recall. And now the NHTSA wants to know, well, what are all these people complaining about then if you fixed it? Hello? I know what they're complaining about. It's not fixed. All right, time to get the crow out. Give me a fork and a knife, Eric. It's time to have a little crow. I told you that I could not see any way, shape, or form. And I called Rick Federighi's show yesterday and told Jackie this. The aluminum F-150 was going to be horribly expensive to repair. It's aluminum. It crinkles like the sandwich, like the stuff that your mom wraps around your sandwich in your lunch. You can't straighten it out. Well, it turns out yours truly is full of beans, full of aluminum beans. So far, the study by Ford Motor Company and an independent agency, so it's not just Ford, because I don't trust them either, but they have dealers, the dealers had to put a lot of money into equipment, but they are so far running about 20% cheaper to fix after a collision than the steel cars. That I didn't want to hear. I'm a backer of the steel industry. I'm a backer of the United Steelworkers, and I don't want to hear that. Of course, now the steel industry out here, I know ArcelorMittal is. They're working on carbon fiber. The new General Motors pickup trucks, full size, are going to have carbon fiber beds. I told you that. We reported on that last week. Carbon fiber beds. It's kind of an experiment, okay, to see how that's going to hold up. All right, I ate my crow. That's enough. I hate being wrong. The Michigan Mobility Unit. We're going to take a trip around the car world now because there's some awful cool crap going on. Let me tell you. The Michigan Mobility Institute, formed this year to enhance workers' workforce, is partnering with Wayne State University in Detroit. Again, Detroit gets another plum to develop a curriculum that will allow students to earn a master's degree in mobility. In other words, I'm telling you, self-driving, artificial intelligence is here to stay. It's not going away. It may not take over as soon as you might think, but it's not going anywhere. It's here for good. And now here's your first college to have a master's program. Oh, my. And plus, it's in Detroit. They're going to redo the whole thing. They're going to have a big campus expansion and a big building built, and I mean it's beautiful. Thank God for Detroit. I'm telling you that Detroit is going to be the pearl of the Midwest before you know it, and Chicago will be junk. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I should. Postal Service. Now I got all these people bending my ear all week. Oh, the Postal Service is going to go with to automated driving vehicles. Da, 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 da. I said they can't. It's impossible. First of all, how are you going to have an automated vehicle go up the steps and open the mailbox and put your mail in? How is that going to happen? It's not. Of course, if the postman isn't driving it, he's just riding, he could ride along in the vehicle. What's the sense of having self-driving? I mean, why have that technology invested in a car that you got a perfectly good driver right there? But that's not what the deal is. The post office this week announced that they are going to test automated delivery between two major hubs. In other words, self-driving semis. Okay, and let's see. The U.S. Postal Service is partnering with autonomous truck company True Simple on a 2-week pilot project that will automate trips between distribution hubs in Dallas and Phoenix. So they're talking about driverless semis driving large loads. Nobody has to get out and open the mailbox. Okay, how are you going to have an automated vehicle open the mailbox? Or will everybody has to go out and buy new mailboxes? But how does an automated vehicle going to sort it? No. I just can't. No. There's a lot of things that are possible with artificial intelligence. There's a lot of things available. But I don't think this is one of them. The regional streeters got 2 things going the next 2 weeks. At the Lake County Fairgrounds in Crown Point is the 109th Kobe Cup Cruise. That'll be 12 to 1 on Saturday the 25th. And then on the 2nd, June 2nd, they're having their Rod and Custom Car, Truck, and Bike Show at the Gary Sportsman's Club on Madison Street in Crown Point. So they got a couple good things going this weekend. And then after that, June 15th at the Blue Top, Southside Cruisers from the south side of Chicago. Or I think they're from the Chicago Heights, actually. They've got a big show coming up at Blue Top on June the 15th. That's going to be a great one. Don't miss that. Of course, any show at the Blue Top is good because you get to eat their food, the Blue Tops. And then you can't go wrong with that. All right, we were talking about these cars that the Car Connection magazine or this Car Connection website, that's what they do is cars. And they've rated some cars. I just embarrassed them, a couple of them. And this one is no different. The 2019 Ford Fiesta. You know what they said about the Ford Fiesta? You want to hear what they just said? I hope nobody ever says this about me. They said it's just old. They've had enough of this car. It's been around too long. It's boring. They don't like it. They don't think it's relevant anymore. It's just, it hasn't lived up to its potential. So the Ford Fiesta is on the lowest rated cars list from the Car Connection for 2019. 2019, Nissan Frontier. I think they're stretching a little bit with this one, but I don't know anybody that has one. It's a pickup truck, Nissan Frontier. You can get a 4-door version. And they say the Frontier doesn't have all the fun tech that the other pickup trucks have. It is efficient, is very fun, has very basic transportation. In other words, it's just a good truck. Well, that's what it's supposed to be, isn't it? A good truck. But they are disappointed. They want gizmos and gadgets. The new car people want gizmos and gadgets, trust me. If there's no good stuff going on in that thing, it's boring. Let's see here, the 2019 Grand Caravan. And they have it for the same reason as the Dodge Journey. It's just not up to snuff with its competitors. In comparison, they let it go. That was the number 1 selling minivan in America for how many years? And now they just let it slack. FCA Chryslers. Don't get me started. Ever since they had Sergio Marchionne. The 2019 Ford Taurus. Now the Taurus is going away. Again. That's the second time. But because of all the changeover, everybody's going to full-size SUVs and small crossover SUVs. Nobody wants a sedan anymore. They're just not popular. They're not relevant to today's market. And that's exactly what the Car Connection here says about them. They're not relevant to today's market. The 2019 Chevy Trax. If you ever see one of these, or if you ever never sat in one, I have never sat in one. You know why? Because I can't get in it. They're small. The Car Connection magazine says it needs a much better price for being a little thing, or a lot bigger engine to make it fun to drive. Because it's not. It's not. And there's your list of the Car Connections disappointing cars for 2019. I hope nobody in my listenership is driving one of those or just bought one, and now I feel terrible. But you know what? The Car Connection people, they don't usually tell whoppers. They're pretty good people. They know their stuff. I rely on them for some things. You know, the Subaru has a problem. Subarus, their tough results are here because their sales are up, but they're just, I don't know, it's just, well, here. In the U.S., it's a Subaru, it's a company that has a decade-long winning streak, and it does. Winning, going better, better, better. More sales, more sales. Globally, the latest fiscal year was marred by recalls, big-time quality woes, and shrinking profits from inefficient manufacturing. Not good. Subaru's operating profit plunged by almost half in the year ended March 31st, and its global wholesale volume slid 6.3% to a mere 1 million vehicles. I know the GM, Ford, and Chrysler, that's not a lot of vehicles. 1 million is nothing. But here we go again. Subaru, Subaru only has one U.S. manufacturing plant. They have one. And it's right here in Indiana, in Lafayette, home of Purdue Boilermakers. Boiler up. Now, they're making $4.2 million investment into that plant so that they can change things around, and they're going to put in a big-time training center. They're going to expand this thing because they're trying to train people. They're going to put big money into more training. You're looking at a 20,000 square foot building that is set to wrap up in October. And at that time, when Subaru of Indiana, with an annual production of volume approaching 400,000 vehicles, is facing a competitive market for new hires. Trying to find people to work in their plants is a problem. The economy's too good. There's jobs everywhere. Trust me, if your kid ain't working right now, you got a problem. You still got a kid in the basement, you better oust him because there's jobs. He needs to get a job. Everybody should get a job now. And Subaru is going to build this huge training center down there in Lafayette and add on to their one plant they have to like double the manufacturing. But they got to do something to train people to work in a plant. They got to have a training center. They're investing in their own training, and God bless them. They're not an American company. I don't think America needs tax dollars. Our tax dollars should go to that. They're not an American company. Their profits go back to Japan. Trust me. Well, it is what it is.